Hey, obviously we're living in a land of make-believe, and this wasn't make-believe anymore. And this really, really happened. And you know what they say, this is the only town in the world you could die of encouragement. You know, so she had very sensitive and delicate information about somebody, and somebody was a little ticked off, and it happened.
Craig,
I don't think it was a random hit.
It's a murder mystery straight out of a Law & Order Los Angeles episode, but this time the story is real. Celebrity publicist Ronni Chasen died 10 days ago from gunshots fired into her Mercedes-Benz as she drove home from the star-studded premiere of the movie Burlesque. Her death remains a mystery, but a leaked coroner's report estimates 4 shots were fired from another vehicle, including at least 1 hollow-point bullet. So was the beloved A-list exec the victim of a random shooting, or was this a vicious hit? Joining me now are criminal defense attorney Keith Sullivan and former prosecutor Joey Jackson. Welcome to you, gentlemen. Joey, I'll start with you. What's your take?
Shannon, I have to believe, listen, there's a few things happening here. Either one, it's random, and I think we could rule that out based upon the precision with which this occurred. The bullets were fired, they hit her right in the chest, and it seems, therefore, more like it was planned. Now, if it was planned, Shannon, the question becomes, was it a mistake? In other words, was it planned, but they were targeting someone else? And I think we could rule that out also. There's information coming out now that apparently she was somewhat concerned that she was being followed by someone in the past, and it was, you know, several months leading to this, and it just seemed, based on the nature of it occurring, based on the fact that nothing was taken from her, it seems like perhaps she had information that could have damaged someone, that someone ordered a hit. It's a mystery. My hope is that the police do a thorough investigation. They're on top of it. They get the surveillance. They track her computer, her text messages, her records, and get to the bottom of this tragedy, Shannon.
And Keith, there have been so many different theories floated out there, including a possible issue of gang violence. How realistic do you think that may be?
I think at this point in time, Shannon, everything is realistic. You cannot rule out a gang initiation. That's certainly something that has to be on the table. And like Joey just said, you have to do a very thorough investigation, take a step back from the emotional components of it, look at the big picture, examine everything. The forensics at the scene, her cell phone, text messages, her diary, interview people she's engaged with on a business and a personal level over the past couple of weeks. I'm sure there will be a break in this case. It takes time and effort to carry out this type of a crime. You have to get a gun. You have to get a getaway car. You have to get rid of the gun. You have to create an alibi. And often, more often than not, you have to rely upon outside independent people. Remember, there was the Ray Carruth case, which is very similar to this, and that story was broken because of a note that was left in the assailant's diary that she was in fear that her boyfriend was seeking to execute her. So I'm confident there will be a break in some time in this case.
And Joey, she's so high profile. I mean, she knows a lot of prominent people. How could that play into this case? I mean, the Hollywood connections, the very powerful people that she knew.
Absolutely, and I think that's a big part of it. And just based on what Keith is talking about, I think what's ultimately going to happen is there has to be surveillance around and in that community. And based upon that surveillance, they will be subpoenaed, that information will be gathered. And when you go through the text messaging, Shannon, the computer profiles, and everything else that she has, it's going to reveal some contact somewhere. Even if it's a little glimmer of information, it could assist the police in determining what she knew, when she knew it, what damaging information she may have had about somebody, how that information may have been used or brought out, and as a result of it, I think it'll lead to a big break in this case. Not soon enough, though, but hopefully the police will do their job. I'm confident they will.
All right, Keith, very quickly, I want to ask you, when you hear this leak about a possible hollow point bullet, what does that say to you?
That tells me that whoever fired that gun absolutely wanted her dead. This was not random. They sought her out that night to execute her.
I'm with you.
All right, Keith and Joey, hold it right there. Thanks very much for your insight. When we come back, our